Hey, what's up guys? My name is Andy Montalvo and I'm a real estate agent here in Houston, Texas. Today, I wanted to share with you 5 things you need to know before making a move to Houston, Texas. So let's get right to it. Now, this video is mainly geared towards people who are moving from either within the state into Houston or out of the state into Houston. However, if you already live in Houston, stick around because you might learn a few things about Houston. If Houston happens to be one of the places that you are planning on moving to or checking out, check this video out as it's going to tell you a good guideline of what the cost of living is inside the city of Houston. Make sure to also check this video out as it is going to help you get prepared for buying a house or selling a house in the Houston marketplace in 2021. The first thing you should know before making a move to Houston, it is the difference between outer and inner loop Houston, because everybody uses that reference here and you need to know exactly what it means. If you look at the city of Houston, it kind of looks like a target. You know, it's surrounded by highways that kind of make a circle and centralize downtown right in the middle. The very first circle you see on the map is what's called the Highway 610. Now, 610 is the boundary of what people define inside the loop and outside the loop. Anything inside 610 is considered inside the loop, and anything outside 610 is considered outside the loop. Now, those areas themselves can be a little different from each other, and while you still can find restaurants and retail and all that kind of stuff in both of them, and you'll still find neighborhoods and homes and families and that kind of stuff in both of them, they are very different. Now, inside the loop, you tend to find a different style of home than you will outside the loop. Inside the loop, you tend to see more condos, townhomes, luxury high-rises, and that sort of stuff. Outside the loop, you tend to have more single-family homes, you know, over 2,000 square feet with a little more yard and lot to themselves. Another differentiator between inside and outside the loop is that there are a lot more green spaces outside the loop, a lot more parks, a lot more separation between buildings and that kind of stuff. Whereas inside the loop, things are a little more close together, a little more crammed. Inside the loop, you tend to get a little bit more of a mix between commercial and residential areas, whereas outside the loop, it tends to be a little more separated. It is good to note that majority of families live outside the loop. That is mainly because of the school districts outside, the space, and the communities that are geared towards families. Whereas inside the loop, you tend to have, like I said earlier, more commercialized area. You tend to see more nightlife, more restaurants. You know, that's where you have all your stadiums and event centers and that kind of stuff. Now, prices do vary when you're shopping from inside and outside the loop, and that is usually normal. The closer you get to a city downtown, it tends to be a little more expensive. It is the same thing here in Houston. Majority of homes inside the loop tend to have a higher home sale price when compared to its suburban areas in Houston. And that moves us on to the second thing you need to know about Houston before making a move here, and that is about its sprawling suburbs. Out of all the biggest cities in America, and the most populous ones, Houston has the largest landmass area out of all of them. The suburbs in Houston are very, very popular. Not just to the people moving into the city of Houston, but also for the people living in the city of Houston. One of the main reasons Houston is so popular is as master plan communities. These master plan communities are incredible communities for families themselves. Now, these communities are made by large developers who come in and clear land and redevelop everything. They build new housing, new commercial centers, and a bunch of amenities to go along with the master plan community and allow those families to have access to. Many areas in Houston have exemplary schools, which attracts a large amount of people to those areas. Another reason Houston suburbs are so popular, it is its constant new construction. This new construction and expansion that keeps happening in Houston keeps people wanting new things all the time. So it is constantly building new homes, and it is constantly bringing people into those areas so they can take advantage of new construction homes that maybe inside the city you won't find. Now, I don't want to leave you without any names, so just to name a couple of the most popular suburban areas in Houston, you have the Woodlands, you have Katy, you have Sugarland, Richmond, Pearland, Friendswood. Those are just a few to name, and there are tons of great communities that can fit any lifestyle or any family needs. The third thing you need to know about Houston before moving here, and one of the main reasons I personally love Houston, it is how diverse it is. I'm talking about multicultural as can be. Houston itself has 10,000 restaurants representing over 70 different countries and cuisines. That is insane. So if you are that foodie, you need to move here immediately because you're going to have a wonderful time here. If you're not a foodie, that is completely okay because I guarantee you your stomach is going to thank you when you come here to Houston. And also, I don't just want to talk about the food. People love representing their culture here in Houston, and they love sharing it with other people and teaching others about what their culture means to them and how it can be represented. I mean, according to Wallet Hub, Houston is the most diverse city in America. So, If you're looking for diversity, if you're looking for a place where you can explore, you can learn something new every day from your neighbors, from the person you met down the street, then Houston is the perfect place for you. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're from or what language you speak. In Houston, you are more than likely to find a community that is going to be perfect for you. The fourth thing that you need to know about Houston before moving here, and it is very important that you know this, is how large Houston itself is. The greater Houston area covers a land area of almost 10,000 square miles. You could fit states inside that, to be honest. It is absolutely massive. And if you're asking for what's the public transportation system in Houston, well, don't expect one. That is why in Houston, your best friend is your car. So if you are planning on making a move to Houston, make sure to bring your favorite car with you because you are going to need it to get around. Now, the fifth thing you need to know before making a move to Houston, it is about its stable job market. Now, I want to say it's stable, but just like every other city, just like every other place in the world, you're going to have fluctuations in that job market and how stable it really is. However, Houston in itself has been able to overcome a lot of economic disasters that come to this country and be able to ride through them. For example, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, Houston in itself has added over 200,000 jobs post-pandemic. While a lot of cities kept struggling and a lot of places kept losing jobs and money, Houston began to add jobs into its economy and help people get more money into their pockets. Now, a lot of the jobs that are increasing in the Houston area have to do with healthcare, transportation, education, manufacturing, and labor. So you're bound to find something that works for you if you move here, if you're worried about a stable job market or worried about finding a job when moving into Houston. It is also worth to mention that Houston is home to over 24 Fortune 500 companies and has the largest medical center in the entire world. Also, according to HousTex.com, Houston is number 2 in U.S. metro areas for manufacturing GDP. I think it's safe to say that Houston has a pretty stable job market, and if you are leaving your job to move to Houston from a different state or a different city, you are bound to find a replacement. Now, those are just 5 quick things that you need to know before making a move to Houston. If you are a local Houstonian and you believe that there's something I missed that somebody else needs to know before making a move here into town, into Houston, please drop it down below so they can also see it. And a quick note to anybody out there on the fence about selling their home, check this video out. It's going to lay out a couple of reasons as to why it is a great time to sell your house. And if you do decide to sell your house, check this video out, as it's going to give you some quick tips on how to best prepare your house and how to best go about selling your house in order to get the top dollar and sell it with the least amount of headaches. And that is everything I have for you guys today. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as your support means everything to me. If you have any questions, please reach out or comment it down below. I would love to get them answered for you and help you out. Also, if there are any video topics that you would like to see, whether it's covering real estate topics, showing homes, showing the Houston area and the communities, please let me know. I would love to make those videos for you guys and get the information that you need to you. Besides that, guys, thank you very much for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time.